Hi and welcome to another video. If this is your first time here, hi, my name is Tara and I'm really pleased to have you here. Today's video is going to be about my personal experience of taking a food intolerance test. I hope that you enjoy it, and if you do, please give it a thumbs up and click the subscribe button below. Just a little disclaimer here, of course this is my own personal experience and everybody is different. I will try and repeat the advice that I've been given as best as possible, but please don't take this to be 100% correct, because I may have misunderstood something or not got something 100% right. So why did I decide to take this test? For around the last 10 years I felt like I've reacted to two foods in particular, one of which was eggs before I went vegan and the other was wheat. I cut those out of my diet almost entirely, but around 8 months ago I started to feel like I was reacting to a whole range of different foods, most of which were just fruits and vegetables that I'd been able to eat previously, but then all of a sudden I'm getting these symptoms. I'm feeling tired, I'm feeling bloated and sick, getting stomach pains, all of the usual. Obviously it's nothing major, but when it happens every day it can really get on top of you, so I'm just keen to get some answers so that at least I know. So the test I ordered was from York Test and it is quite an investment, I'm not going to lie, but when you're at your wit's end like I have been, it just feels like something that you have to do. The test arrived really quickly, just within a couple of days, and it was really easy to do. It's a little plastic device that you press onto your finger and it's a pinprick effectively, which you then use to give them a sample of your blood to test. It shocked me more than anything. It wasn't painful, it was absolutely fine, and they gave you all of the instructions really clearly, so it wasn't an issue to do. So a couple of things they mentioned to me: if I felt like I was going to be intolerant to a certain food, I was to incorporate it before the test so that it would definitely come up if there was an intolerance there, but also to be aware that although I was vegan, some non-vegan items might come up in my test, and that's because I might have eaten them by accident, or I have not been vegan for very long, so they might just come up. So I sent off my blood test and it took around 10 days to come back with the results, which was a couple of days ago now. Also included was a 30-minute consultation with a nutritional therapist, which I had yesterday. I was expecting to see at least 4 or 5 foods come up. I felt almost certain I was reacting to mangoes and black beans, obviously wheat and eggs, and also occasionally garlic and onions. I felt like I might come up with a few more ingredients than that because I was reacting on a daily basis, so by the end of the day I was just feeling absolutely horrendous, and it didn't seem to matter what I was eating, I was just feeling terrible. So it's been a pretty tough couple of months. I know this isn't anything major, but you know, it does affect your life, so I was quite nervous to get the results. Nervous because obviously I don't want to be intolerant to any foods, that's not ideal, it's quite restrictive, but also if it wasn't intolerances, what is it that's causing me to feel this way? So when I opened my results I was absolutely gobsmacked. I was so convinced that it was going to be at least eggs, wheat and mango, and almost definitely black beans and garlic and onion. I was just absolutely shocked. It was none of them. Oh, that is really interesting. The sum up is I react to cow's milk, which I guess is from before I went vegan, and oat, and that's it. Everything else is green. That's a bit of a surprise. I had 2 intolerances listed, so one of which was oak, which apparently is down to smoked items and anything that's been made in an oak barrel, so I guess whiskey. I don't drink a lot of whiskey, so I should be fine. And the other one was cow's milk. Obviously I haven't drunk cow's milk or had any cow's milk products for a couple of months now since I've been vegan, or at least not knowingly, so that one was a real surprise because even when I was consuming it I didn't feel like I was having a reaction. One thing I would say, I have definitely had fewer cold-like symptoms since I went vegan, and that I guess is down to cow's milk. Initially I was, well, shocked, but that quickly turned into relief because it's such a relief to just think that I'm only intolerant to those 2 things and they're not remotely restrictive for me because I'm not consuming dairy anyway, and I mean, how often do you have something that's smoked? It's not a massive thing, is it? So initially relieved, but afterwards just totally confused, because these symptoms, I'm just getting them so regularly. Less so when I was eating raw, definitely, but I'd say at least every other day at the minute, and for the last few months, at least every other day. So I booked my appointment with the nutritional therapist for a couple of days after I got my results, and the conversation was really interesting. She started by listening to my symptoms and what foods I felt that I'd been reacting to, and I explained how confused I was as to why nothing else had come up on this intolerance test. And she explained that she felt that what I was reacting to was actually high FODMAP foods. I can't remember exactly what FODMAP stands for, but basically it's certain foods that react in your gut a different way to other foods. She asked when all of my main symptoms had started, and I explained it was around 8 months ago, and she sort of delved a little bit into that and said, well, kind of what's happened over the last 8 months? Have you been any more stressed than usual? Which I have a little bit, really. It's been quite a challenging 8 months at work. It's been quite a busy time, and it has been a little more stressful than usual. So she felt that that was what was causing me to have more of a reaction to these FODMAP foods than I usually would. Apparently when you're a little more stressed than usual, your body goes into fight or flight mode, which means that it gives your digestion less energy than it usually would, and this can cause more of a reaction than usual to these FODMAP foods. So she talked me through the FODMAP diet, which is basically that you avoid the high FODMAP foods for 2 to 4 weeks and then slowly start to reintroduce them one at a time. And that way you can see which ones you're reacting to, and if you react to them, you cut them back out again and then slowly start to reintroduce them again one by one until you can eat them again. She did explain that it's not a long-term diet, and it's only something that you should do, of course, with consultation with your doctor. Since speaking to the nutritional therapist, I've been following the low FODMAP diet, and I already feel miles better. My stomach is flatter and it just feels generally calmer, so it's definitely helping me so far. So in summary, this was not what I expected it to be at all. I was expecting to have a long list of foods that I couldn't eat and to be really restricted, and I prepared myself for that. I was thinking, if that's what it is, then you know, that's what it is, and that's fine. It's such a relief to know that this is a temporary thing, or at least I feel it's a temporary thing, and I'm going to give the FODMAP diet a go for a couple of weeks and then start to reintroduce foods. I'm feeling really positive, like it's, you know, this is going to be a solution for me. So all in all, a really positive experience. I hope you found this video interesting, and if you have, please give it a thumbs up and click the subscribe button below, and I'll see you in my next video.